Hey everybody, welcome to another Afro Taku impression. It's Player 5, and I'm joined here with.
Yo, it's MGG.
And so today we're going to give you guys our impressions on a manhwa we started reading called Solo Leveling. Um, so really quick overview of the series. Basically, it's set in our world, and then one day all these people awaken. And what awakening is basically you get like these physical boosts, like video game like boosts to yourself, right? And these go anywhere from E rank to where you're like slightly stronger than the average person, and all the way to S rank, like you probably can punch holes in buildings, right? And basically, at the same time this happens, these portals to these different like monster dungeons start to open up, and basically you have 7 days to kill everything in it, or else they will then be able to walk into the world with regular ass people like us. And basically, the people who awaken start to get jobs as hunters, and hunters are basically adventurers that go in there killing all these monsters. Okay, but our main character, Jin Woo, is basically this kid living, I believe, in Seoul, but in South Korea, I know for sure. But he is basically considered the world's weakest hunter. Trash. He can't even go into an E rank dungeon crawl with goblins without getting hurt. Almost dies all the time. Basically, through a series of events, he gets a legendary second awakening, which isn't unheard of in this world. It's just very, very rare. And basically, people will get a second awakening, either automatically unlock some next level of power, or in Jin Woo's case, he gets the power to level up through training, right? Um, so yeah, that's basically the story without any spoilers.
Okay.
Anything you want to say about that? Did I miss anything, or you good?
No, I think the overview is you hit it, so we're good.
All right, sweet. As far as the story goes, when I kind of looked at it, honestly, I felt like it was a bit lazy. Like literally, they just like, yeah, niggas are in a world, and then monsters start showing up. Y'all know how video games work. You get it. This is literally how they kind of put you into the story. Like, dude, you get what's going on here. Let's do this story. Which to me is lazy, but at the same time, given the thing, you have a lot of opportunity. Like, you could talk about why this is even happening. Like, what's going on? Like, is this like a divine creator, or is this like magic from another world? What is it? Especially once it gets to the point where it still really starts to become very video game like, with like stat bonuses and like horde drops and stuff like that. Um, I think it scratches a itch, a video game itch, through manga, and other things about the story. I really like how when they say solo leveling, like they really don't give that much of a fuck about other characters. It's
Yeah.
really about this dude.
No, I agree with that. I think maybe because normally, and maybe it's because it's a manhwa too. I usually hate the isekai subgenre most times. Like so far last year, we had some good sleepers like Shield Hero and shit. But most times, I kind of stay away from this genre. So I think maybe I lean more into it because he's kind of like the type of RPG player I am in terms of like what's happening after his second awakening. So a lot of the tasks he's getting is basically just like grinding to. It's like the second awakening is basically acting like his coach, and he's like Rocky preparing for a boxing match. So he just like, here's some shit to do. You're gonna get leveled up from doing it, kind of thing.
I feel like I could not live in this world and play how I play games, because I'm like, up, I hit level 2, let's just run this boss. You know what I mean? Like, I'll
Oh,
be
that
on
is.
like feeling myself type shit. Like, yeah, bro, I just ran the shit out of this goblin. Yeah, let's go box a dragon.
Nah, I'm somewhere between this guy and Cautious Hero in terms
Oh
of
my
playing
God.
video games. Where like I'm like I have to be so much more powerful than the thing I'm gonna fight that it's like super easy. Like that, I'm somewhere. I'm not as bad as Cautious Hero. Cautious Hero is horrible, but like I'm somewhere in between this guy and Cautious Hero in terms of like how I play games. So I think that's why I lean more to it. Because usually I hate when they give you the game concepts in the isekai. This does that. I would say it's not overly saturated in there, but it's definitely a decent part of the story. So, but because I play games that way, maybe that's why I care less. But I'm interested. I feel like they seasoned some things like with this whole guild thing and the world itself, and I agree that they like didn't touch on it enough to make you feel like you understand whether or not it's going to be a big part of the story or not. So like I don't know if this is something they're eventually going to try to overcome, the fact that their world has turned into a game, or if like the fact that there's all these guilds out there that people are part of, if that's going to play into the story more later. But I'm curious to see that. I thought the first boss battle was cool just because strats. Like, if the strats are there, you're gonna have me sold at least on the first chapter. But then, like the second battle with the wolves was pretty much just a level grind. So I don't feel like there was a whole lot of strats there. Um,
If I had to guess at what's going to happen, I
yeah.
think they're just going to keep delving into like video game tropes.
Mm,
You know what I mean? Like, I think we'll probably get to like every trope. Like, I just want to see when he gets to the point of like, not like hacking the game, but like
yeah.
abusing the game system.
Gotcha. So you
Like,
feel like this is definitely more gaming concept focused than it is about the actual story of this world.
for sure. I think it's
Okay.
definitely like, hey, the maker of this, I think so far, I could be wrong, but so far, like I said, the story doesn't seem that strong. So it seems like he has like, hey, here's this simple idea. This low-level loser is about to grind his way to the top, and I think I'm gonna tell some stories about how he's doing it.
Got it. Okay. Yeah, I mean, if that's the route they decide to go, I think I will probably fall off this sooner rather than later, just because I'm not a big fan of villain of the week shit. So
Right.
when they start doing all the villain of the week stuff, I'm gonna go. I'm out.
Have you seen any
Jujutsu
plot?
Kaisen.
Like
You said what?
I haven't even whiffed a plot. Like
Yeah,
besides getting money, what this nigga doing?
I feel like there was plot points, right? So like the thing with his mom, the fact of like how the world is kind of set up, and like possibly the competition between guilds that they also brought up. I feel like all of these could turn into major plot points in the story, but so far they've just been brushed over. Like besides the mom thing, the mom thing is probably the only thing where I see is like a something we will get resolution to in the end.
I
But
feel
this
like
could
all
easily
of those
be like
plot points. Go ahead.
what you're saying.
I was gonna say I feel like all of those plot points lend themselves to being like villain of the wiki.
Totally.
Like, I haven't sniffed no like for real plot. Like by 20 chapters deep, like oh Naruto wants to be Hokage. Like these niggas trying to find the One Piece. You know what I mean? Like this nigga just want to get money, bro. Like, I don't know if he got a story.
Yeah, I mean, I totally feel you on that. I don't think he might, but some of these will. I don't know how manhwas are if they're that different from manga, but it could be just a slower start to finding the plot because some of these things just start slow and then eventually it builds to like a bigger thing. Right now, I totally get what you're saying. It feels very villain of the wiki. Just get this money and like save the mom. But when we start to introduce, like they already set up the plot point that there's people with these other awakenings. So I feel like this means we will run into them at some point. They might have some goals that start to shift the story into a certain direction, right? Because if there's only a select few of them, maybe they're like, oh, we were all chosen for some reason and we're meant to save this world. Or maybe they just become villain of the week type people where he just goes with them on a dungeon crawl and that's it. But like I said, I think with the 20 chapters, I totally agree that it sounds like it's going your route. They still have the potential though to turn it into a story. I don't think we're there yet where they're like at the point of no return just yet.
Well, you got anything else to add to the story?
Um, for that, no. I don't know if the healer chick is gonna play more of an important role, or if that was just a one-off thing. Um, but that would be the only other point. Well, I guess that goes into characters, but that would be the only thing I bring up.
Yeah, well, since we talking about characters, we might as well talk about characters.
Facts.
So you know what? Instead of starting with the main character, since we already own it, let's talk about the healer chick.
Yeah.
So my take on healer chick, which so far seems to be the main love interest of the main character,
Yeah.
Sung Jin Woo. I don't remember her name. They usually call her healer more than her name. So healer chick is a B-ranked healer, but I guess she got like real life phobia and fear, and she like is performing at an E or D rank.
Trash.
I feel like if they don't give us backstory, if there's like nothing behind why, none of it makes sense. Like, how do you even make it to B rank if you can't get past the E rank dungeon? You know what I mean?
She might have been protected by some strong ass niggas or related to somebody strong.
She used to roll with a hard fucking crew.
Yeah. And they just caught the points off their thing. You know what I mean? Kill steal. We let you kill this little thing. Get the experience points.
Oh man, I like that characters are flawed. I haven't really seen many flaws in the main character, but side characters are flawed. Like, them niggas basically regular people.
Oh, 100%. It looked like some bum-ass niggas, for real. For him to be an E-rank hero in that first dungeon they went into, and all the other niggas I saw, I was like, these all look like bum-ass niggas. Like, I was like, aren't y'all also
like regular people? Like,
yeah.
I didn't feel like I couldn't beat up any of them niggas I saw.
Facts. That's 100% how I felt too. I was like, wait, these niggas are running a whole dungeon, and then it was like kind of how easily these niggas got wiped out too. I was like, oh, okay, I guess like characters don't mean that much in this story.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Guess what? You know, I feel like the way they treating characters, like, this is why I hope healer chick never really solidify her name. I just hope she remain a girl he kind of run into every now and again. It's because, like, man, this is what I wanted out of Goblin Slayer, but he went and befriended them niggas. I want him to be like the solo nigga that, like, hey, every now and again we team up, but my party is just me, nigga. You know?
I liked his squad.
I liked him. Don't get me wrong. I liked him, but for his character, I feel like I wanted that nigga to be more, because he started off as a Batman-ass nigga.
Yeah.
But then he got friendly real fucking quick. I felt like he would have lost his life for his friends.
Yeah.
Like, the moment where them niggas made him come in at a weaker state to kill goblins, that's when I was like, bro, are you really the Goblin Slayer? Because you nerfing yourself for friendship.
Oh. Well, I felt like with him is, let's not get into it because it's not about Goblin Slayer, bro.
Right.
Once you talk about that on a podcast or something, but back to the characters. Chick, yeah, I don't know. For her, I'll see how she marinates in my mind, but she wasn't that interesting. I feel like he just needs a healer, so she's just gonna end up being that person if we get another character. But the manhwa is called Solo Leveling, so I hope that means, like you said, she's not really around much. Like, from that first boss battle, like, I didn't get any characters I wanted to have him have more than one interaction with, if you know what I mean.
Right.
Like, even if the main dude that also dipped with the girl comes back and, like, they try to do it, I would be like, no. Like, they aren't even drawn in a way to make them stand out, besides the chick.
Yeah, I agree very much. I'm like, I wouldn't mind getting different characters for different things.
Yeah.
But if they come back, let's see. It's so early. I'm willing to see how they handle it.
Okay.
But yeah, I don't really like her either. Yeah, I mean, I feel like the characters is short because they really don't go into other characters besides the main character.
Yeah. I mean, do you have any points on the main?
And speaking of the main character, like, yeah, that dude really, like I said, it kind of goes back to the story being lazy. Like, I don't think there's much to say about this nigga. Like, he really
Facts.
a regular ass dude. You know what I mean? This nigga more regular than Deku. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah,
he a regular dude.
he's pretty flat to me. I I get the mom plot device. Um, I don't know how much they're gonna try and use this. Like, oh, I've been through so many battles, so this is what helps me level up faster thing, like they used in the first boss battle. Um, I hope they don't keep using that trope. It was kind of like meh to me.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I totally agree. Like, there's not a whole lot to say about him. He's very flat. But this does give me SAO vibes. So if I was to compare him to Kirito, I would say, like you said here, he has a little bit more depth in that nigga.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
It's slightly deeper Kirito.
very slight. It's
Yeah.
like it's like if you skim a rock on water, like that skim, that little deep skim it does. That's like how much deeper he is than
Literally,
Kirito.
there's thing him and Kirito is we went from knowing he had a family like Kirito has relatives to being like, oh, my mom's sick.
Right.
That's it.
That's it. Yeah, no, that is literally the plot point that makes him deeper than Kirito is the mom sick thing. He has a purpose for doing it. Kirito was just like, why is he well, I play video games.
Yeah.
Like, that's it. But yeah, that's it. Yeah, the characters were really, really light in this show.
Yeah. They hurting for some characters. The artist gonna have to figure that one out.
100%. Because especially if he's going villain of the week with it, there's got to be something to add more interest. Because I feel like it'd get dry, without, with just Jin himself. Because he's not that deep.
Yeah. So let's move on to hype.
All right.
So the hype I got from this is like, man, just go back to watching that first episode of SAO where you were like, oh snap, we got a gym. It was like that. It was like reading that where it's like, man, I really like the fighting. I like the implementation of the video game world. As a gamer, you know, it really scratches that gamer itch for me. It reads really fast. Like manhwa, I don't know if all are like this, but this manhwa definitely reads faster than manga. You know what I mean? And it's something light. I can kind of keep going, and I don't feel bogged down. And the color also helps me kind of get through it. So I'm like, yeah, it got me hyped. I really want to see where he go with this.
For hype, I totally agree. I feel like this is maybe how I kind of envisioned SAO playing out from that first episode, but then it didn't go that way. I think that it could either get really interesting or really boring very quickly. So I'm interested to see where they want to take it. Especially where the battles go, because we saw some stretch of some of the battles. I think that was like a really cool thing for them to try and figure out as a group, is like, oh, how does it work? How do we defeat this boss? But then given that, you have from E to S class rank, I wonder if S class heroes, that's a special type of boss battle, or if the higher tier heroes are expected to take out some things like those statues. That's kind of where I'm stuck in between. I wonder, with an S-class hero, is the expectation that they just are able to solve that puzzle faster than norm? Or is that just that puzzle itself just something super unique? Or are the S-class heroes just a nigga that just goes, oh, laser buddy, fuck him, and just defeat everything,
And just blow everything up before
exactly.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of make you think about some bosses in video games. Some bosses, when you low level, you got to fucking time up they attacks. But when you higher level, you can just nah, dude, I'm running through you.
Yeah, and a lot of the boss battles in SAO were like that. Like when they got to a dungeon boss, it was more like, even though they kind of like glossed over the fight, but the concepts of the battle were very like, what's the weakness? Let's exploit it, and then they did their fancy moves to exploit the weakness. So I'm interested to how they see that going in Solo Leveling.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's all I would have on hype. Better SAO. But it can definitely go to shit really quickly, like SAO did.
Like SAO. SAO showed us. Like, yeah,
Facts.
that's why I'm like, I come in with very hype.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the hype it get for me right now. It's like the pace of it really gets you wondering, like, okay, well, what's about to happen next? Because it just kind of flow real quickly.
All right.
Would you recommend? Would you continue reading?
I can see myself reading this, but it's definitely gonna be an infrequent thing. Probably something I like binge read a few chapters, forget about for a while, binge read some more. Unless there's something that comes up that's like a hooker for me where I have to, well, hooker's probably a bad word to use, but like that keeps me that keeps me interested to catch up and want to be current with it. But right now I haven't seen that. It seems very like it seems like a sporadic read to me. And as far as like recommending it to others to start reading, I think I would honestly say if you really don't have anything to read, I'd recommend reading this. But yeah, if there's other shit on your list, I don't think I would say the hype behind this justifies like drop everything you're doing and start reading Solo Leveling.
If I had to give it R ranking, so far it kind of got like a decent plus. Mm-hmm. And what that kind of tells me is that like if somebody was like, hey man, what's something new you're reading? I would definitely recommend Solo Leveling. Mm-hmm. Like, oh, it's not deep, it's not that far. You could probably catch up to where it is pretty soon. I also, got respect on it as I think it could. This is a low could. Don't fucking put me as Goofy of the Year for this. It could get an anime, and I could see that happen.
Yeah.
So
I mean, according to YouTube, apparently there's some anime trailers out there already. I don't know if they're real. They might be fan made though.
Oh, hey, fans be getting good, bro.
Facts. But it's very shitty in art style. It looks like an animated manga and not in an animation style, meaning like they're reading the panels, but the panels move.
Oh, that's hurting.
Yeah. So,
yeah, let's pray that
kind of weird.
Because that's gonna ruin y'all chance, Korea.
100%.
But will I read it? For sure. I'm not gonna read it consistently, same as you. It probably will get dropped off until summer. But I mean, yeah, I might pop it in a couple times while I'm bored. But overall, yeah, it don't take the place of any big three. Let's say if you were watching or reading big three manga and you were like, oh, should I add this? If you got the time, add it. If not, it can wait.
100%. All right.
All right.
Bring us home.
Make sure y'all follow us on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, every social media you got, Twitter and the whole thing. We even on Tag. But yeah, goodbye.
Yeah, if you've been reading Solo Leveling, let us know what you think about it in the comments. And if there's any other manga or anime you want us to do impressions on, also let us know in the comments. See ya.